All right, picture this. Someone just hands you the keys to a brand new $250,000 Lamborghini. Sounds amazing, right? Well, there's a catch. To actually keep it, you have to protect it from a series of, well, let's call them impossible attacks. Welcome to the Lambo Gauntlet.
So those were the instructions from Mr. Beast. Simple, but absolutely terrifying, right? You have exactly 24 hours to build whatever you want. That's it. A crazy short time limit, but total creative freedom to build, well, anything. And you better believe that clock started ticking right away.
And really, this is the core question, isn't it? Can anything actually survive what's coming? I mean, we're talking about 10,000 bullets, a 100-foot drop, 10 cars on fire, and a literal speeding train. Four totally different escalating phases of just pure destruction, and each one is designed to be even crazier than the one before it. So, the guy at the center of all of this is Blake. And for him, you gotta understand, the stakes are just through the roof. This is his third and final try to win a grand prize after failing twice before. This is it. This is his last shot. And just look at what he's fighting for. We're not just talking about the supercar. No, no. Stuffed inside that Lamborghini is another 100 grand in cash. That is an absolutely life-changing amount of money just sitting there waiting for him. Okay, so let's get into Act 1. Blake's got to survive attacks from two completely different directions. First, you've got a horizontal barrage of bullets, and then you've got a vertical drop straight from the sky. Talk about a challenge. So here's the first real puzzle. How do you stop 10,000 bullets? And we're not talking about just a few shots here and there. This is a relentless, non-stop assault from 8 soldiers, firing from all over, even a crow's nest. How in the world do you even start to build a defense for that in just 24 hours? Well, Blake's plan was all about defense in depth. What does that mean? Basically, he didn't just build one wall, he built layers. He stacked up cinder blocks, put shipping containers filled with cars and water behind them, and then an inner wall of railroad ties. The idea was that each layer would absorb some of the punishment. But even with this super elaborate plan, people were skeptical. You hear one of the crew members ask, "Do you think that shipping container is going to stop any bullets?" And the answer? Absolutely not. Man, that just ramps up the tension, right? If your main defense isn't going to work, what chance does the car really have? But the strategy totally worked. I mean, the walls crumbled, the cinder blocks just exploded into dust, but those layers held strong. And when all the smoke cleared, the car was perfect. Not a scratch, not a single bullet got through. Phase 1, a huge success. But hey, there is zero time to celebrate. The very next challenge is, well, it's just absurd. They take the Lamborghini and hoist it 100 feet into the air with a giant crane. Now Blake has to figure out how to catch it. So what's his solution? He literally builds a giant bed. He gets the idea from a construction worker and sends his crew out with a mission. Buy every single pillow and air mattress in the entire city. They end up creating this massive pit of soft stuff to cushion the fall. And you also have to remember the human side of this. At this point, Blake has been awake for over 30 hours straight. He is just running on empty. He's so exhausted he even overslept at one point, losing precious build time. That physical and mental exhaustion, it's becoming a huge factor in all this. And yet, somehow, against all odds, the giant bed actually works. The car just plummets into the pit, they pull it out, everyone's holding their breath, and it starts. It drives. Yeah, there was a crack in the bumper, about 10 grand worth of damage, but who cares? It survived. An incredible success. All right, now we're moving into Act 2. And this next phase, this one is personal for Blake. See, it's a recreation of the exact challenge that made him lose $500,000 in a previous attempt. This isn't just about the car anymore. This is about redemption. So, what went wrong last time? His big mistake was using flammable wooden railroad ties. They just caught fire. This time, though, he learned his lesson. The new design is all metal, totally non-flammable, and it's got this really clever V-shaped roof designed to make the flaming cars just slide right off. And it's kind of worth taking a quick second to ask, how is a production this huge even possible? Well, you'll notice they seamlessly weave in promotions for big brands. This isn't just for fun, it's a massive business, and those sponsorships are what pay for this kind of spectacle. Okay, now back to the fire. So, the flaming cars start raining down, and you can actually see the metal container protecting the Lambo start to buckle and warp from the intense heat and all the impacts. It was a super close call. But when they finally put the fires out, the car was safe. Blake got his redemption.
And that brings us to the final act, the grand finale. After bullets, gravity, and fire, what could possibly be left? Oh, just the most powerful, destructive force yet, a massive, speeding train. And it's headed straight for the Lamborghini.
Blake's final plan here is actually pretty brilliant. He knows there's no way he can stop a train with just brute force. So the goal isn't to block it, it's to derail it. He builds this makeshift ramp out of railroad ties, cars, and concrete. The whole idea is to lift the train's wheels just 2 inches off the track. That's it. Just 2 inches should be enough to send the whole thing flying off course.
And those final moments were just pure chaos. I mean, with an hour left, Blake's crew is stacking the burnt-out cars on the tracks. With 30 minutes to go, they're adding shipping containers to the pile. Down to 11 minutes, water tanks go on for extra weight. It literally came down to the wire, with the final concrete barrier being shoved into place with just 1 minute to spare. The build is finally done. Time is up. And then you hear it. 3 simple words. Send the train. And just like that, the final terrifying showdown begins. You see the train hit that ramp doing 35 miles an hour. There's this massive crunch of metal, and it works. The train lifts, it veers off the track, and it grinds to a screeching halt just feet away from the Lamborghini. A perfect derailment. Unbelievable.
And that was it. It was over. After 3 different attempts, 4 insane challenges, Blake had finally done it. He won. So he doesn't just get to drive away in the supercar. He also gets that $100,000 in cash that was waiting for him inside.
Think about it. He protected the car, he beat the gauntlet, and he took home the entire $350,000 prize. Just a complete and total victory.
You know, watching this whole thing, this incredible mix of engineering, endurance, and just pure spectacle, it kind of leaves you with one big question. In a world where there's just endless content, is this what it takes to actually grab everyone's attention? And if so, what on earth could possibly come next?